I didn't come here just to eulogize Eli. I came here mainly to express my thanks for having known him. I think I can use the word friendship in saying that though our friendship did not have a very long history, a few years were enough for me to get to know Eli, know him well, and become very fond of him. Eli's positive attitude about life, with the essential support of Harriet, was something to be admired and emulated and should serve us as a role model. But here I just want to bring up an idea of how I felt about Eli. I saw him as a righteous person in the full meaning of the word, which brought to mind the old Jewish myth from the Talmud that the world is really held together by 36 righteous persons who by their behavior make it possible for the world to continue until the arrival of the Messiah. Now these 36, the Lamed Vovniks, which means 36 in Hebrew, live among us incognito. They are not necessarily leaders or famous people. Most of them are just everyman. Since we don't know who the Lamed Vovniks really are, I don't know exactly where Eli fits on the scale. But I do know one thing. Eli was, in the Yiddish word we both understood, a mensch. The literal translation from the Yiddish is person or human being. But in Yiddish, the usual meaning refers to a person that behaves the way a human being is supposed to. One who treats other people with respect, charity, tolerance, compassion, and who compliments his community. That was the Eli I knew, respected, had fun with, and whose company was a delight. I will miss him.
One moment. Good morning. I'm Mort Hartman, and Edith and I, through our mutual friends, Phyllis and Paul Gilson. Phyllis is here. Paul could not be. Loretta and Bernie Weinberg couldn't because she's ill. We're mutual friends of ours, and we met Eli and Tina of blessed memory so many about the middle 80s. And then we met Harry. At our advanced age, the death of old friends is an unwanted but not an unexpected consequence of being that age. Still, his passing leaves us all with a tremendous sense of loss in so many areas which comprised our friendship. Eli and Harriet's friend in Sarasota, Jenny Burlingame, wrote a beautiful poem in which she said, quote, "A twinkle in his eye, reflecting the compassion from his soul," which truly describes Eli in so many ways. Many men are intelligent, fewer of them are wise. And Eli had the rare gift of being both very intelligent and very wise. And part of that wisdom was his sound professional and personal judgment, his thoughtfulness, and his compassion in his work with patients and association with friends. We will miss that twinkle in his eye when he would casually ask questions about plays, news articles, books, politics, and the future of mankind in a troubled world. His ability to elicit opinions was very effective, and the resulting discussions were lively and informative. We will miss, in a sense, Eli was my mentor, and the rabbi had mentioned a certificate with mentors, and they were colleagues. In this case, I was his friend, but he was my mentor, but only as a friend, and never in a critical way. I learned much from him, and I shall never forget his persuasive logic and humanity in our different positions in the discussion on the need for the country to totally eliminate the death penalty. In addition to being wise and compassionate, he was an energetic and an avid consumer in the world of entertainment, sports, and television. I think we discussed this too. Eli's, I understand that he set the television set to tape programs well into the future. Unintentionally, that may be part of Harriet's legacy for a long time to come. His love of performing arts was legendary. Eli's motto was never let an art film, opera, concert, or ballet go unattended, or any good television show unwatched. And if possible, try to get to 2 different performances in one day. And of course, Harriet, being the good sport that she is, would always agree, didn't you? There was another side to this wise, cultured athlete. Eli very seldom was demonstrative in his expressions of affection, but you know of his love for his family. He would never talk about himself, but he sure liked to talk with pride about his sons, their families, and Harriet's family, and, like most grandfathers, about his wonderful grandchildren, which we saw an example today. We enjoyed his quietly humorous and affectionate acknowledgement of Harriet's superb care and her own love for him, which was so effective in his difficult battle for survival. But now he's gone. His memory will endure. We feel very privileged to have shared a long and important friendship with this very unusual man. Eli Lane will be deeply missed by all who knew him, and he'll be in our hearts and minds forever. Thank you.